our speaker today. We have Kiana Lake with us today. She graduated from SUU way back in December of 2020, which is exactly a year ago at the time she was graduating. Her degree is in early childhood education. So here to talk about teaching first grade is, she's not going to talk about that. So she is the founder and CEO of Reece and Co. This is a fast-growing and very successful company that sells tassels and other bag accessories. One thing I know about Reece and Co. is they have insanely committed fans, truly committed fans. Not just casual people that purchase the company, and Kiana have people genuine, insanely committed fans. So she won first place in our Opportunity Quest competition. That we do that in winter, typically February of every year. She won that in winter of 2020. Then she went on to win the statewide. So this is among all the university entrepreneurship programs. She won first place, People's Choice Award, statewide. This is a competition run through the University of Utah. She won first place in that. And then she won more money and prizes than anyone else at the State Bank Business Challenge. That is a competition that is open to students and non-students. She's been very successful in her businesses and her business pitch competitions. She employs 4 people, and that includes her husband, Jaron. She is a level 9 expert in all things lovely and adorable, and she has a AAA rating from the American Badass Society. Please welcome Kiana Lake.
All right, like you said, I am Kiana Lake, and I just graduated a year ago with my degree in Family Life and Human Development. Before I begin, I am known to be a very fast talker, so if we get through this really fast, please have a lot of questions, okay? I started Reece and Co. 3 years ago. I had just gotten married, we were broke, probably had $500 to our name, and I had this bag, and I wanted to make a keychain for it. And at the time, our rug had tassels on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so cute on my bag. So I went to the craft store, I got some supplies, and I made this tassel keychain. I was so proud of it, I loved it, so I posted a picture of it on my personal Instagram story. And that day I got so many messages from people being like, oh my gosh, where did you get this? And I would respond with, I made it and I'll make you one for $10. I think that day I got like 10 orders, you could say, and they requested different colors. So the next day I went to the craft store again and I got the colors they wanted, and I made these tassels for them. They came and picked them up from my apartment. That's when I kind of realized I could make something out of this. I was kind of sitting on like a business, if you will. And so I wanted to make a business Instagram and an Etsy to start growing. So I needed a name, and I needed one fast. And the name Reece and Co. comes from the fact that my favorite candy is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and I love Diet Coke. So I mixed my 2 favorite things, and that is where you get Reece and Co. So there's not really significance behind it. Anyway, once I had the name, I made an Instagram and an Etsy, and we really started growing because people started posting about my products. Once they got them in the mail, they would tag me on Instagram, and so we were organically really growing pretty fast. We outgrew Etsy. What do I mean by outgrowing Etsy? I don't know if you know. Etsy takes a percentage of every sell and every item purchased. So it's great for starting out, but if you're getting multiple orders and lots of orders a day, it kind of adds up quickly. So we moved over to Shopify, and that is where we are at today. Oops, I don't know, where do I click this? It's cool. Does that work?
This is why they almost pay me.
Okay, cool. In 2019, we did over $80,000 in sales. In 2020, we did over $120,000 in sales. And this year, we're up 22% and should finish the year like that. So pretty fun and exciting. Okay, I don't feel very qualified to be speaking to you today, but I hope you can learn at least something from what I have to say. And what I want to talk about is things I wish I would have known 3 years ago before I started Reece and Co. Let's start off with don't put all your eggs in one basket. What do I mean by that? When I started Reece and Co, I thought the only way to grow was through Instagram. I was like, the only way my business is gonna be successful is if I do giveaways, if I reach out to influencers, which is true. You should be doing that. You should be doing giveaways. You should be reaching out to influencers, but that's not the only way you should be growing. For example, Instagram is designed to prevent you from growing. They don't want you to grow on their app. And their app is designed to, so for example, they got rid of swipe ups. I don't know if you knew that. And now it's a link tap. They did that because they don't want you to leave their app. They don't want people to leave their app to go to different websites. So Instagram is literally preventing you from growing. So yes, it is a great way to make a connection with your audience, but it's not the only way you should be growing. For example, Pinterest is the 3rd largest search engine right now. People go to Pinterest to buy products. Why would you not be on there? If you're selling a good or a service, why are you not marketing yourself on Pinterest, right? And I think what's really important with Pinterest is SEO. Really find your niche and really narrow down what your SEO is, and you're really gonna start to grow. We got on Pinterest a couple months ago. Within the first month, we were verified on Pinterest, and we're having over 200,000 monthly views. With Pinterest, once you're verified, they also start pushing your content. So they're pushing your content for free. You don't even have to pay for it. And you can shop on the app, if that makes sense, once you're verified. So people can make a purchase of your items through Pinterest. So it's just another great way to market your items. Also, email and SMS marketing. It is so important to grow your list. Part of the reason we have a 30% returning customer rate, and part of that reason is because of our lists. It's a great way to market new products to your returning customers. It's a great way to send text, to make a connection. It's just another way to make a connection with your audience, which is so important. TikTok, okay. I am not very familiar with TikTok when it comes to a business aspect. What I do know, it is a storytelling app. Use that to your benefit. Also, if you are really niche down in TikTok, that's when you really explode. So market to your niche. Don't use the trending hashtags. You're never gonna get seen with those. You're supposed to use niche specific hashtags and make sure you're telling a story. People wanna know about your business. That's how you're gonna grow. People want to hear how you started, hear about your name. So I think TikTok is really a great way to grow, especially overnight. It does take time to go viral, but it's definitely worth it. Okay, I mentioned making a connection with your audience. Something I think that makes my business so unique. Like you could go buy a freaking keychain at Walmart, right? Why are all these people coming to my website? Why are people shopping with Reece and Co? It's me. I make my business so unique. What do I mean by that? Well, on Instagram, I don't just promote my products. I promote myself. In essence, I'm an influencer for Reece and Co. I show up on my Instagram stories and I ask questions like, hey, how's your week going? Have you gotten your caffeine for the day? I do weekly check-ins where it's a poll, like, are you having a good week or a bad week? I'm making a connection with my audience and letting them get to know me. I'll do Q&As where they can get to know questions about me that aren't even related to my business. I think that really is what sets businesses apart. Capitalize on the idea that you're a small business. Use that to your benefit. People want to see the good, the bad, the ugly. Show the behind the scenes. Show the mistakes you made. I think that is, I talk to hundreds of women a day because, not even about tassels, not even about keychains. They'll send me a picture of their bag and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. You should get this, this, and this product. And then they'll tell me something that happened with their kid that day. I'm making connections with all these women over tassels. But it's so much more than that, and that's why they're supporting my business. They know exactly where their money's going to. They know it's supporting me and my family. So I think as a small business owner, you should really capitalize on the idea that you make your business unique. Another great way of making a connection with your audience is pop-up shops. I am the first person to tell you I absolutely hate them. It is months of preparation. It is so exhausting. You set up these huge displays for 3 hours, and then you talk all day to so many people, but people come to see you. People come to see your products in real life. They come to get to know you more because they already see me on social media. And now we're making a connection even further. We're talking in person. And it's a great way to reach new customers. New customers come and see you and they make a connection with you automatically, right? You're talking to them. You're helping them pick out products. In my example, you're helping them pick out products for their bags. But they suck. They are the most, they suck. There's no other way to put it. I am dead by the end of the pop-up shops. You can ask, my friend Jo is all the way on the right, or on the left, and she comes to all my pop-up shops. She has to deal with a very angry person. I am not happy. I'm good at faking it during it. I'm good at being happy then. But another really quick I want to talk about, my friend Lexi in the middle. She also owns a business, and it's a hair accessory company called Caxi. She is an amazing example of making a connection with her audience. If you want to do research and really dive deep into how to make a connection with your audience, go stalk her Instagram. Her personality radiates through Instagram. And everyone buys her products. Yes, they're super cute, but because if Lexi wears it, you freaking want it, right? So I can't stress this enough. Making a connection with your audience is truly how I've become so successful. It's not my products. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, they're cute, but it's the people I'm getting to know. You're an influencer for your business. Like, that is the most important thing. Make your business an experience for people. So, for example, they go and buy a product, right? Is that it? They just buy this product and they get it? So for us, we like to make our packages very cute. And I have found the cuter the package, the more likely people are to share it for free on Instagram. Granted, you paid for all the supplies to ship it, so I guess it's not free. But if you get this package in the mail and it's wrapped all cute, has a sticker on it, especially girls, I don't know about guys, but girls love to share it on their Instagram story. And that is one way we have grown organically as well. I didn't pay any of my customers to post about it. I didn't pay them, to post about it. It's just a great way. So make it an experience for your customers. And that also sets you apart from other businesses, right? Like Walmart doesn't hand package your keychains. No, you're not gonna get that there. How are you serving and adding value to your audience? This kind of goes back to making a connection with your audience. The way you're going to grow and beat algorithms on social media is by creating valuable content. What do I mean by that? If you're scrolling on Instagram and you see a post you don't want to forget, you're going to click that save button so you can come back to it, or you're going to screenshot it, right? You want to create content that people, I guess, in essence, forget about, but they don't want to forget about it, right? So for example, what I do, I include my customers in every step of the process. So say we have a new launch coming up. I'm like, hey, do you like this color or this color better? And I'll put a poll up. They're involved in the process. They feel like they're a part of the business, which they are. You would have no business without your customers. I think that's also so important to know. Without your customers, you would be literally nothing. So they are pure gold to you. So by adding value to your customers, like I said, posting, like I use it to gauge like what's gonna do good. This is a win-win for you. You know what's gonna win, like you know what's gonna sell. You're selling to them, why would you not listen to what they want? So that I think is very valuable. Ask them what they wanna see in upcoming launches. You can't fail if they say they want something and you bring it in, right? They obviously wanted it. It is okay to take breaks. I think there's a bit of a toxic culture with hustling, right? They're like, don't stop working until you've reached this goal. You shouldn't be sleeping, blah, 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 right? Which is good. You should be working a ton. You should be working for your goals, but you should also be taking breaks. Some of my best ideas have come when I am taking a break. For example, we went and visited family up in Seattle over spring break a couple years ago, and I sat down at this table and I was like, why have I not brought in bag straps? Bag straps are removable straps on bags, like lots of diaper bag companies have them. And I was like, why would I not make different ones so that they could add them to their bag? So that night I got back to my in-laws house, I started researching manufacturers and I started designing bag straps that night. Those are my best selling products now. They make me the most money. And that happened when I was on a break. Would have I gotten that idea maybe if I was working in my office? Potentially, but I allowed myself a break. I allowed my creative self to take a minute, and that is where my best ideas have come from. You don't owe anyone anything. Okay, this one's a little bit more for my girls. So I feel like when you become successful, people kind of want you to give them the secret sauce. They want you to tell them exactly how you did it. They kind of want you to give everything you know on a silver platter. But you do not have to tell anyone anything you don't want to. Especially my girls, I think we have a hard time setting boundaries, saying, I don't really want to, like, I kid you not, people will ask you for your manufacturers. People will ask you where you get stuff. You do not have to tell anyone that. You can be rude. Like, they can work. How hard did you work to get where you're at? Yeah, you worked freaking hard, so why shouldn't they? They should work just as hard as you did. So I just kind of wanted to throw that in there for my girls. You do not owe anyone anything, so don't give people advice that you don't want to. Okay, it is okay to have hard days. So I saw this video the other day. Susie Holman posted it. You should all follow her too. She's a great business tip advice. That top picture is how you think your business is gonna go, right? Just a steady incline. When in reality, your business, you have bad days, you have pitfalls, you have days where you're not succeeding, but all those bad days are helping you grow. And without all these pitfalls, you would not be where you're at today. Your hard days help you grow. Your hard days make it easier in the long run. I've learned way more on the days that I've gotten 0 sales. I dive deep. Why the heck did I not get any sales today? What was wrong? What do I need to do different, right? Rather on the days when I'm getting 30 orders, great. I'm doing something right, obviously. So I learn way more on the harder days than I do on the easy days. Probably running a business, you're gonna have some of the best days of your life. You're also gonna have the worst day of your life. The worst days usually come in April when taxes are due. That month, that's when I wanna quit. That is the month I'm done. But just remember, growth happens when you're out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. I can't stress that enough. If you're comfortable right now, you're probably not doing something right. You should constantly be on the edge of your seat. Don't wait until your idea is perfect. If you have an idea right now, if you have a business idea, a product idea, freaking launch it. You're already behind if you haven't launched it. It's never gonna be perfect. You're never gonna have a perfect day to do a launch. It's never perfect. You need to launch your business now. Launch your idea now. Grow with it. Even if you had a perfect idea, you're still gonna have hard days and you're still gonna learn from it. So launch your unperfect idea now and make it perfect in the long run. So going along with the hard days, I think on the hard days, at least for me, I just kind of want to be done. I don't want to post on Instagram. I don't really want to be doing anything. But I think the key to growth is being consistent. Show up on your hard days. If you're not going to show up on your hard days, why are you in business, right? Consistency is truly what's going to make you successful. Not just like showing up on your stories on the good days. Make sure you're constantly posting, constantly diving into your analytics. See where you can grow. I think that's like one of the biggest things and biggest tips I hope you can take away is be consistent even when the days are rough. Okay, this next thing I want to talk about, how much time have you spent thinking about other people's success stories rather than working on your own? Just think about that for a minute. How much time have you spent thinking about other people's success stories rather than working on your own? I can tell you from personal experience, there's been so many times I've been like, I don't have as many followers as this business. Man, these guys are getting so many more sales than me. Hours of time comparing myself to other businesses. Those hours could have been spent investing into my own success story, investing into my own business, reading a book that helped me with my business. Stop comparing yourself to other people. It's not gonna help you. Invest that time into yourself. Invest that time into your business. I think that is so important. Going along with that, stop caring what other people will freaking think. Like if you are scared to launch a business because your friends might think you're weird, I freaking sell keychains for a living. That's weird. But do I care? No, because I'm freaking successful. If you haven't launched your idea or your business or even tried because you think what other people will think, first of all, you probably have horrible friends. Second of all, you're in the wrong career if you care what people think. Okay, going along with that, this is my new company I'm launching, Lux Pickleball. Also freaking weird. Who launches a pickleball company? I don't know. Basically, how this came to be, my family loves pickleball. I'm very high maintenance, I don't know if you can tell. And I love anything cute. If I'm gonna be doing something, I better have a cute freaking paddle. So if I'm going to play pickleball with my family, it better be cute. And I couldn't find one. So I've been working on this for literally ever. I went to my brother. I'm not good at pickleball though. So I had to go to someone that was good at pickleball. And I said, Colby, I really think we should launch a cute pickleball paddle company, but I need you to test the paddles, right? So literally we have spent so much time on this, so many roadblocks, like we almost got sued already, so that's great, because our first name was called Rally, and the company reached out to us saying they had trademarked the name Rally, and we had until January to change our name, or else they would sue us. So, hence why we are now called Lux Pickleball. I think the reason I brought up us almost getting sued before we even freaking launched is because if you're not hitting roadblocks, like, I think it's a good sign to hit roadblocks. If your business has roadblocks, that's good. You're growing from it. It's obviously a good idea, right? We're actually getting ready to launch here in the next couple of weeks. But the reason I wanted to talk about Lux is because our idea was not perfect when we started. Do you know how many manufacturers we had to reach out to? Not a lot of people in China know what pickleball is. So you have to do so much research. I did not wait for my brother to be like, I think this is a great idea. I started doing the research until he finally got on board, right? Just go for your ideas. They are never going to be perfect. And everyone pull out your phone right now and follow Lux Pickleball. You have to. Okay, so everyone follow. It's going to be a really good launch, and it's coming soon. And that is kind of all I have for you today. Like I said, I talk really fast. So I will open it up to any questions you guys have. Yes?
Do you do all like the graphic design and designing yourself, or do you hire someone?
So all of my logos for Reece and Co. I design. I outsource those. The design of the actual product I do. And then with Lux Pickleball, we outsourced people for the designs. Yes?
So when you start a small business like this, like how did you learn the ropes, I guess? Where like you started on Instagram, started selling cute little keychains and stuff. How did you learn the ropes of like, hey, what business license do I need? What sort of taxes do I have to pay? Blah, 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 blah.
That's a great question. My dad. No, I'm just kidding. Trial and error for sure. I got an accountant, so I have an accountant. I think that's really important because even with an accountant, the IRS will come for you. Like seriously, I was 19 when I started this and the IRS was coming out. I'm sure there was a 50-year-old that was doing way more scammy stuff than I was. But make sure you have an accountant. I think that's really important. But it's also trial and error. A lot of Googling went into it, like, how do I get an LLC? I didn't even know what that was. I was a freaking family life and human development major. They don't teach you that. I just learned how to teach kids. So a lot of Google and a lot of time into that. And accountants actually can help you with all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah.
So you mentioned how you just graduated last year. So how did you run your business and keep going to school, I assume around full time?
Yeah.
At the same time.
So life was a bit crazy. I would work till 1 or 2 a.m. every night on Reece and Co. So I'd wake up, I'd go to school, I'd get done about 1. I'd work from 1 until 3, and I was a tumbling coach. So then I'd go teach tumbling, and then I'd come home and I'd work on orders till 2 a.m. So that's where I think my take a break comes from, because I worked. I'm not good at it still. I still work way too much, but take a break because you need it. So it was a lot of long days, but it was worth it. Yeah.
So with outsourcing and everything, like how do you decide the point where you're like, I want this to be outsourced, but I want to do this myself? Like, how does that work?
That's a great question. So I think for me, obviously all of my tassels started out being handmade, right? For me, my hands literally were hurting because I was making so many. So that's when I started hiring on employees to help me make them. And then that still kind of got overwhelming. Like we still couldn't keep up with orders. So at that point, that's when I started outsourcing products because I couldn't keep up with numbers by doing everything in-house. And I think it is important to outsource. Like even, I guess there's kind of people don't necessarily love it when it's out of house, but I think it is important, especially to keep up with demand. So if you can't keep up with demand, that's when I'd start looking to outsource it. At least for me, that's what I did. Yeah.
Do you plan on opening more businesses as well besides your two?
I'm sure my brain is like full of ideas constantly, so I'm sure in the future, yeah. But these two are my focus right now. Yeah.
Okay, I have a few. The first one is, what obstacles are you facing right now with your company, if any, and what are you doing to overcome them?
Okay, so with Reece and Co, I still can't keep inventory in. We sell something and it sells out within that day, which is a good problem to have, but it's also so frustrating, especially for impulse buys, right? I'm missing out on, when an influencer posts, I'm missing out on so many sales because things are sold out. So just trying to gauge how many items I actually need, especially bag straps. If I launch a bag strap, they're gone within a day. And I'm constantly having to reinvest, which is a good thing, to reinvest money to get more bag straps and more products because they're still selling. So I think just trying to find that sweet spot of where my number is of like how many items to order. With Lux Pickleball, the ports have been shut down and are so backed up. So that has been a huge issue, just trying to get everything here. But those are probably the two biggest issues right now.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your biggest competitor for Reece and Co, and what are you doing to differentiate yourself from them?
That's a great question. Okay, my biggest competitor on Reece and Co. There is a company out there that sells similar things to mine, but I think the thing I have on them is I've grown quickly, I guess, and I've outsourced my things. So they're still in-house, if that makes sense. They haven't outsourced, so they don't have the ability to bring in the quantities that I do. And again, I think what makes me so unique is me. I show up on my stories. I don't know who owns that business. They don't show themselves. They don't have the engagement that I do. Does that make sense? So I think truly what's going to make you successful in a business is yourself, showing yourself on Instagram. Yeah.
After having like a lot of success in your first company and then starting this, how do you manage the time when you know that there's one already making money and one that's kind of sitting until it can? How do you manage the time?
So I've definitely had to learn how to delegate. So I've relied more on other people for Reece and Co to kind of keep up with the demand of Reece and Co. And I show up where I need to, right? I show up when we need a launch, when we need new products. But for the most part, other people are helping me with Reece and Co. With Lux, I'm kind of pouring my whole heart and soul into it. I'm basically doing exactly what I did with Reece and Co., but turning it into Lux Pickleball. With Lux Pickleball, you know how tennis aesthetic is like really popular right now? That's what I'm doing, but with pickleball. I'm making pickleball aesthetic, okay? So I'm pouring my whole heart and soul into these. We're on pickleball courts doing photo shoots. Do you know how many people are staring at us? It's so weird, but it's like, that's what I truly am pouring my creative soul into right now because I think it's gonna be so successful. Every person that has seen our paddles on the court are like, oh my gosh, these are so cute, especially the girls. I mean, I know it's not a boy thing to love cute paddles, but so that's how I've kind of managed it, is I've had other people help with Reece and Co, and I've focused more on Lux and growing Lux and doing exactly what I did with Reece and Co with Lux. Yeah.
How do you find like a reliable supplier?
Lots and lots of samples. We went through 50 samples to get where we were with these. With Reece and Co, I've gone through hundreds of samples. So what you do is you'll order a sample from the manufacturer, wherever it is, USA, China, and then I test the samples. I'll test them for like a week. If I like them, then I'll order like bulk. If I don't like them, I'll go and find a new manufacturer. So you have to spend money on samples. It sucks, but it's worth it. Yeah.
How do you find new manufacturers?
Google. Just start Googling. Tons of research, hours and hours of research, and just messaging tons. Google is literally how you find everything. Yeah.
How did you build your, I guess, your market? You know, where you started with a post, and then people were like, hey, that looks cute, can I buy one? How did you grow that market? How did you reach new markets and kind of find your niche first before it was sort of like, sure, I'll make people want to now it's like, hey, I'm targeting this group, I'm selling to this group.
Yeah, so I would say my niche is like young moms. So diaper bag companies are really in right now. There's so many cute diaper bags that moms love. So I market to moms with diaper bags because all of those have like key rings and stuff that you can attach, and that's where my bag straps are adjustable. So I found my market kind of through, I noticed who was buying my products, and when they would post on their stories, I noticed what bags they were using. And so then I made connection with those bag companies. So I work with literally like, I have 100 bags in my office, it's insane, from companies I work with. So what we do is they send us a bag, I send them tassels. We use them in our photo shoots, and then we post them. So their followers are seeing my products, and my followers are seeing their products. We're like helping each other out. And that's kind of how I've grown and found my niche audience, is kind of through diaper bag companies and bag companies in general. Yeah.
How much time do you spend on social media, and is it delegated to someone to do that, or is it all just you?
So social media is all me because, like I said, I really think that's what makes my business so unique, and that's one thing I have a hard time giving control, like letting control of, I guess. So I'm pretty sure like my average screen time is like 5 hours a day. It's horrible, like, so a lot of time, but yeah. Yeah.
Do you plan to use your degree and teach in the future, or are you just like focused on your business?
I got a bachelor's degree solely because my parents made me. So I got the easiest degree I could. My mom's on Zoom, I'm pretty sure, so shout out to Wendy for making me do that. But that is the only reason I got a bachelor's degree, honestly. If I wasn't so close to graduating when I started Reece and Co, I probably would have switched to business, but you know, I didn't want to start over. I'm not a big school person, and yeah, I'm a teacher. So I probably shouldn't be teaching, I guess, because I don't love school. Yeah.
Who would you say is your biggest support system, and like how they showed you that they?
Probably my husband, because our home has turned into like this girl central. Like girls are constantly at my house. There's tassels and fluff everywhere, which no guy likes. No guy likes excessive stuff, right? So I would say my husband has been a huge supporter, and he's never ever doubted me for 1 second or been like, hey, I think you're investing a little bit too much money, or hey, I think you just took our whole entire savings. Like, he's never ever said anything like that. So I'd say my husband and my family. My family has also been so amazing at helping me, especially with Lux, because Colby, my brother and sister-in-law, are starting it with me. So my husband and my family. Yeah.
So do you still teach, and if you still teach, like how do you manage that time?
So Reece and Co is what I do full time, and now Lux. I don't teach anymore. But when I did teach, my time was insane, and I didn't manage it very well. It was rough. It was very rough. Yeah.
Were you always outgoing and like willing to like put yourself out there on social media?
I've always had kind of a loud personality, but I like things like this I don't love. Like, I don't love to talk in front of people, even though in essence I'm talking to 1,000 people a day on social media. I think it's a bit different because you can't really see them, I guess, if that makes sense. But what I would say, if you do struggle with like kind of being outgoing, fake it till you make it. One day it's gonna adapt and you're gonna be outgoing, right? So I think I've always had a loud personality, but in like even the speed pitches I did, I hated those. They were so terrifying, but I just faked it and acted like I knew what I was doing, and it's great. So fake it until you make it. That's my motto in life. Yeah.
You mentioned how you're having issues with keeping your inventory in stock. So what steps are you taking to help deal with that? Like, do you have a pre-order system set up, or what?
So yeah, we actually do pre-orders on our most popular items. They're Mickey tassel keychains. They're very popular. We do pre-orders on those. So we open up as soon as they sell out, we open up pre-orders. Once the pre-orders sell out, all those have shipped, then we open up pre-orders again. So that's what we do for those bag straps. I don't do pre-orders because it's really hard to get them in when they say they're going to get in, if that makes sense. So with that, I just order double the amount I did before, and they still sell out. So I don't have a secret sauce for that yet. It's just trial and error until you get it right. Yeah.
If people ask you or tell you that you were crazy, what did you do to kind of deny them or be like, hey, I'm not crazy, this is a really good idea?
So my in-laws think I'm psycho for selling Lux pickleball paddles, and I just say, basically I just tell them exactly why I think it's going to be successful. I tell them, well, how many times have I searched for cute pickleball paddles and never found them, right? If you search for something and it's not there, it's probably going to be successful. It's something missing on the market. So I just kind of explain to them, I guess, why I think it's going to be successful, and also I don't really care if they think that. Like, cool, if you think that about me, great. Like, just kind of don't care. But yeah, I like that question. Yeah?
What, if any, adaptations did you have to make for the pandemic?
Great. So shipping has been a nightmare, both in states and out of country. It is impossible to predict when your shipments are going to come in or if you're going to get it at all, right? They get stuck at the port, they get stuck at the USPS. So we had to buy a shipping insurance thing. It's called Route. If you're a small business, I would check it out. Basically, it insures your customer's package and they'll replace it and it doesn't cost you money. So I had to find Route. I had to find how to adapt with that. That was one issue. And during the height of the pandemic, nothing was being shipped from China, right? They were completely shut down. So for a while there, I got so low on inventory. And that kind of got scary for a minute, but luckily we just had Pinners Conference, one of my big pop-up shops, so we had enough inventory to get us through until our next shipment came. But for sure, shipping issues have been the worst of it all. But other than that, COVID has actually spiked sales. Because of COVID, we've grown because everyone was online shopping. So in that way, it was great. Yeah.
Where do you have your pop-up shops and how often do you have them?
So, like I said, I hate them. So I do about 2 a year and I choose really big ones. The Pinners Conference is a great one. It's up in Salt Lake. It's put on by Pinterest. And that one is a 2-day event. It's really long. It's really good. Thousands and thousands of people go. And then the other one, the other picture I had in there was a one that we just did at the Salt and Home. I don't know, it's something up north, and they do really good ones. And next March, I am doing one in St. George, the St. George Market, which I have heard that it's better than Pinners Conference. I haven't done it yet, but if you guys have a small business, check out St. George Market because apparently it's really good. So I try to only do 2 a year because that is all I can handle because they suck. Yeah.
So, are there parts of being successful with Reece and Co that have been unexpectedly challenging or unexpectedly pleasant?
I think the pleasant part is like I have so many virtual friends, I guess, if you will, because I talk to so many different girls every day. I think that is so cool. Like, who else has that opportunity to make friends with all these people? And when I do pop-up shops, I get to meet them in person, at least the Utah ones. I think that's really cool. Also, I've got to make connections with influencers. Like, never in my million years would I think I'd be talking to these people I used to follow on Instagram. Like, that's really cool to be talking to them and they have my products and they're posting about my products. I think that has been super, super cool. The part that's kind of sucked is taxes. I hate taxes. I can't stress that enough. It sucks so bad. But also I was 19 when I started business, didn't even know what taxes were, so maybe I should have looked into that. Yeah.
So I know Pinners Conference, you have to pay like quite a bit of money to even get in there. So how do you balance like not knowing what you're going to actually sell versus like the money you're gonna pay?
Yeah, so Pinners Conference costs about $2,000 to like go, but you know Pinners is promoting for you. So that's why it's worth it. You sell a lot. B, you get noticed by so many people, like you gain a lot of followers, you gain a lot of like wow. Yes, thank you. Because they promote your business for you. They post about your business and then they do videos once you're there type of thing. And the news covers it. So there's a chance you could be on the news. So that's why I think Pinners is worth it. Also, you do make a lot of money at Pinners Conference. It is a great investment. The other, St. George Market, I'm pretty sure is only like $300. So a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. And I heard you make just as much as Pinners. Like I said, I haven't done it yet. And I heard there's just as many people that go to it. So kind of just weighing your pros and cons. Make sure pop-up shops should give you your analytics. They should tell you how many people come. If not, probably don't do it. If they don't have analytics, that means it's probably not going to be great. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I feel like managing social media can be really draining for me. So how do you stay motivated to keep up with the consistency and not just be drained and done with social media?
Yeah, I totally agree. I, every month, plan out all my content for the entire month. So I know exactly what I'm going to be posting. There's some days I change it. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. Or a cool giveaway opportunity comes up, so I'll change it. But for the most part, every month I sit down and plan out everything. With Lux, because it's my brother, sister-in-law, and me doing this, me and my sister-in-law sit down and we take turns like, okay, this week's me, this week's you. You do Pinterest, I do this type of thing. So I can delegate it a lot more there. But just planning it out in advance, I think, is so important. Make sure it's all planned out. Yeah.
Why don't you give us more questions?
Great.
How do you divide, like, working with two other partners? Like, how do you divide, like, who gets, like, how much money and stuff like that?
That's a great question. So we're doing 50-50. They're married, so they're 50%, I'm 50%. Basically, I had the idea and I came to them. So we signed a contract that we'd do 50-50 and invest 50% because it was my idea. I don't know. It's great. We haven't made money yet, but the contract's signed, so can't do much now. Yeah.
Have you had any negative feedback from people, like customers or like haters? And like, what do you do to, like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every business is going to have customer service problems, right? Especially in the beginning when I was making them by hand. I didn't know the durability of it yet. So I think adapting and really figuring out how to make my products more durable. So at the beginning, that was like a big learning curve. But once we got that all figured out, easy selling now. And you're still going to have customers that complain about, my package came a little bit torn. Like, I'm so sorry. That is the USPS, but I am so, so sorry. Just like saying you're sorry, just making it right to them. Even if you want to be kind of salty back, that's my problem with customer service is I kind of want to be feisty, like, you suck. But yeah, just making sure that they're taken care of, I think, is most important.